Welcome learners. In this session, I will discuss about social system, structure and organization of tribals. I will discuss the concept of social life among tribals. I will describe the social organization and social structure of tribal community. I'll explain units of tribal social systems. Several groups of tribes designated by common name will also be mentioned in this discussion. In this session, I will also cover the definition and characteristics of tribe, and I'll also discuss the concepts of subtribe, moiety, phratry and local group of village community. The core of human life depends on the social life of a person. The social life develops through social interaction and building relationships among the human beings. There are some common characteristics found among the Indian tribes in terms of social life, but there are some local differences found as well. There are 5 factors which form the prevailing conditions of social life among the tribes. They are natural environment, population, human being, material technology and social environment. Natural environment is basic for all societies. They depend on it for basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, fuel, etc. The population provides a raw material for well-organized society, without which social life cannot exist. The human being is another factor that is responsible for the patterns and ways of the social life. All individuals are supposed to meet the requirements of the group by collective means. Material technology is an indivisible part of social life because it helps in getting natural resources, erecting a shelter, making tools and preparing food. The social environment plays a vital role for social life. A systematic social life occurs in relation to the surroundings of uncountable other social environments such as social organization, social interaction, social order, its design, cooperation, the economic construction, etc. Therefore, the social life is a combination of a variety of social organizations. As per sociologists and anthropologists, tribal social life is specific in nature. Tribal people have their own ways of life. The factors of primitive structure and organizations of tribe include sex difference, age, kinship, locality, social status, political power, profession, religion and magic, totemism and volunteer association. Among these, religion, magic and totemism are special features of tribal life. Grouping of individuals is also another factor in social organization. Human being cannot live alone and he has to meet his basic needs like food and shelter and social needs such as companionship, recreation, religious activities and play. Thus, human beings form a group or association with the help of other men and creates institutions and satisfies his needs. Community life also involves methods of grouping and grading people to effectively carry out various types of activities which are demanded by the common existence. Sociologists and anthropologists have also explained a social structure as a system which consists of several elements. Elements of social structure do not exist independently of one another. The elements of the social life are linked together. The organizational aspect of social life is also very important among the tribal social system. Social organization is the phenomena where people get things done by planned action over a period of time in the community. After discussing the social structure of the tribals, it is important to explain different social units of tribal life. An important basis for the existence of a tribe as a social system is a combination of different social systems. The social systems or units are a number of group of tribes designated by a common name, tribe, subtribe, moiety or dual organization, phratry or territorial groups, clan or local group or village community, subclan or sublocal group, lineage, family, marriage and youth dormitory. Sometimes tribes are known by their neighboring people and outsiders by a common name. This common name is used in a broad sense to include many other types of tribal communities inhabiting a common territory. For example, the communities living on the hills might be geographically grouped and known by a common term by the plain dwellers. The different tribes of the group have their own linguistic and cultural traditions. They share many cultural and social customs with their cohorts. At the same time, due to the same geographical habitat, they develop some common cultural traditions. The phenomena of grouping of tribes designated by a common name is a common feature in the northeastern Himalayan region. The expression Naga is a common term to denote people of Nagaland. The group of the Nagas include in itself tribes like the Angami, Ao, Chakhesang, Chang, Khaenmungan, Konyak, Ihota, Hom, Rengma, Sangtam, Sema, Yimchung and Zeliang. Manipur is inhabited by a large number of Kuki tribes which have been split into two broad divisions, namely Old Kukis and New Kukis. The Old Kukis include such tribes as the Aimol, Anai, Chote or Chaute Chiru, Kolhan, Kom, Lamgang, Purum, Tikhup, Vaishei and Mhar of Manipur and Rangkhol or Rangkhol and Bete of Kachar. The New Kukis are composed of a single tribe called the Thados, who are scattered in Kachar, that is in Assam, Naga Hills in Nagaland and Manipur. Almost allied to them, at least linguistically, are the Paite of Manipur and Ralte of Manipur and Lishai Hills in Mizoram. In Arunachal Pradesh, the people living in the Abor Hills are known by the name Abor. This includes tribes like the Pais, Minyong, Pangi, Padam, etc. In the Middle India, the hillmen of Rajmahal Hills are popularly known as Pahariyas or hillmen because they live on the hills. This generic term Pahariya includes three different types of people, namely Sauriya Pahariyas or Malays, Mal or Manar Pahariyas and Kumarbhag Pahariyas. The plain dwellers know them by the famous term Pahariya for all those living on the hills. In western India, the Sajadri group of tribes include tribes like Koli Mahadev, Varli, Kokna, Thakur, Kathodi, Koli Malhar, Koli Dhor, Dubla and Dholia who inhabit Nasik, Ahmednagar, Pune, Satara, Sholapur and Aurangabad districts of Maharashtra. The Bhils of western and middle India also include a number of tribes like Bhil Mina, Bhil Garasia, Dholi Bhil, Dungri Garasia, Nawasi Bhil, Rawal Bhil, Bhagawalia, Bhilala, Pawara, Vasabha, Barela, Patelia, etc. Let us now understand the concept of tribe. Generally, tribe itself is a basic social unit for the community. Tribe is a social group in which there are many clans, nomadic band villages, or other such groups, which usually have a definite geographical area, a separate language, a singular and distinct culture, and either common political organization or common political or at least a feeling of common determination against strangers. A tribe is also a collection or group of families. A tribe is ordinarily an endogamous unit, the members of which confine their marriages within the tribe. Several clans constitute a tribe, and each clan claims kinship among its members belonging to it, based either on totemic division, territorial congruity, or common residence. The official definition of scheduled tribe keeps in its view the country's historical experience and tribe caste relations. Article 366(25) of the Constitution of India has defined scheduled tribes as such tribes or tribal communities or parts or groups within such tribes or tribal communities as are deemed under Article 342 to be scheduled tribes for the purpose of this Constitution. By the Scheduled Tribes Order 1950 issued by the President in exercise of the powers conferred by Clause 1 of Article 232 of the Constitution of the India, 312 tribes have been declared to be scheduled tribes. Later, by an Act of Parliament, some other groups were also included in the schedule. Let us now discuss the characteristics of a tribe. Some of the important characteristics of tribal community are: tribal people live within a definite topography. They possess a sense of unity in a particular area. They are endogamous in nature. They have common dialect to speak. They are tied with blood relationship, which is a powerful bond among them. They have a common system of offering prayers to God. They always need protection from intrusion and infiltration. Every tribe has its own distinct political organization. They have common culture to produce a sense of homogeneity among themselves. The tribe itself is the basic social system. The small community, like a tribe, is a very predominant form of human living. There are 4 qualities for the small community. They are distinctiveness, smallness, homogeneity, and self-sufficiency. The distinctiveness is apparent to the observer and is expressed in the consciousness of the people of the community. The smallness is a compact community with a small population, which provides in some part of it a unit of personal observation fully representative of the whole. The homogeneity means the activities and states of mind are much alike for all people. The career of one generation repeats that of the previous generation, and finally the characteristics exist. The self-sufficiency denotes that the community is self-sufficient and provides for all or most of the activities and needs of the people. All these characteristics are realized to a great extent in particular groups and villages of rural and tribal India. Let us now discuss subtribe. A tribe is divided into a few groups depending on the economy, ecology, and isolation. Initially, people of the group are of the same cultural traditions. They eke out their livelihood that separates them from the others. The geographically isolated habitation also leads to a subgroup in the real unity of the tribe. In the Himalayan region, the Rengmas of Nagaland are divided into two groups based on their geographical isolation, namely Eastern Rengmas and Western Rengmas. The Jaunsarias of Dehradun in central Himalaya have divided themselves into different castes like Brahman, Rajputs, Koltas, etc., based on the status as well as the economy. In central India, the Birhors have two subgroups, namely Jhangi and Ulthu, based on their habitation pattern. The former leads a somewhat settled life, whereas the latter leads a nomadic life. The ecology and economy keep them moving. The Khariyas of Chota Nagpur are divided into three subtribes, namely Hill Khariya, Dudh Khariya, and Dhelki Khariya. The division in their case is based on their habitation. The Korwas of Palamou have two sections, namely Hill Korwas and Plain Korwas. These separations are due to the geographical isolation. Even the Bhuyas are divided into two subtribes, Paure Hill Bhuyas and Desh Plain Bhuyas. The Khons of Orissa have a number of subtribes like Kutia Khons, Dongaria Khons, Desaya Khons, Tikiria Khons, Yeniti Khons, etc., which are an example of territorial division. The Koyas have subtribe like Rajahor, Rasha Koyas, Lingadhari Koyas, Koti Koyas, etc. The Savaras include the Kapu Savara, Malia Savara, or Khuto Savara. The Juangs of Orissa have two subdivisions, the Thania, those who dwell in their original home, and the Bhagudia, those who left their original home. From this classification, we come to know that some division of subtribes in India exists. Let us now discuss moiety. Moieties are called half-tribes. When a tribe is socially divided into only two groups based on its social activities, each group is called moiety. This organization is known as a dual organization. The main activities of these two groups of the community regulate the social behavior and acts of the people. Moiety may be exogamous, agamous, or more rarely endogamous. Exogamous means marriage outside of a specific group, especially as required by custom or law, while endogamy is the practice of marrying within a specific social group, caste or ethnic group. Agami means that once exogamous dual organization has relaxed the rule on prevention of marriage within the group. However, it may also mean that some reason the same kinship has never been extended nor fully extended to the moiety. The exogamous dual organization varies from a multiple clan system when the group is divided into two parts in terms of the rule of descent. The moiety affiliation of all its relation can be reduced, but there are more than two clans or exogamous clan-like groups. The relative affiliations are not traceable or are only partly determined. Any dichotomy in the two halves of the tribe may prove a practical, complete division of the tribe. They occupy two different parts of the village, one in the south Tual and the other in the north. These two groups of the tribe will clearly reflect their political and mutual behavior. They wear different clothes, and one of the moieties socially ranks higher than the other. The dual organization is frequently asymmetrical in division. A marked sense of rivalry may be produced. One of the two parties in a genuine dual system is often found to be either more skilled, powerful, or somehow superior. It is observed that exogamy readily disappears and readily develops. Agamy naturally develops as a sequel to exogamy in a dual organization. Firstly, a prosperous moiety grows so large that its members lose a sense of kinship or find it greatly weakened. Secondly, the usual difficulty of finding mates also leads to agamy. It was observed that the moieties, exogamous or otherwise, commonly comprise lesser clans. It is also possible that multiple clans may combine into two large groups, or some may die out, leaving only two. Such local names of the moieties, meaning thereby 4 clans and 3 clans, indicate in themselves an alliance of the clans. Established moieties are found among the Ao Nagas, Rengama Nagas, and Angami Nagas in the northeastern Himalayan region. It shows that the moieties are not fixed in such system. The Aos are divided into two main divisions, namely Mongsen and Chungli. These two divisions have different pattern and design of clothes in order to differentiate themselves. Chunglis eat all kinds of food, whereas Mongsens refrain customarily from polluted food. They do not eat. The hairstyles of these two divisions also differ. The Rengma Nagas have divided themselves into two territorial divisions, namely Eastern Rengmas and Western Rengmas. The Western Rengmas have two groups of clans, whereas the Eastern Rengmas have no such clan. Among the Angami Nagas, there are two divisions of clans, namely Pezoma and Pefuma. These two divisions once intermarrying moieties, but for some time the taboos has been observed only within the lesser subdivision. For instance, the inhabitants of Kohima are all Pefuma, but they freely intermarry unless of the same clan. In the central Himalayan region, the Tharos seem to have evolved a dichotomous organization of their own community into two sections, namely higher and the lower. The higher section has within itself a number of endogamous kuris. Those kuris are Batha, Birshia, Dahat, Badvat and Mahtum. These 5 kuris form a new endogamous group and call themselves Rana Thakur. The lower moiety, which is in a minority, has certainly welcomed the name of Thakur for their group of 7 sections. They place themselves a little lower than the Ran Thakur Sin in the social orders. There are 2 branches of Mundas in Middle India, as older and younger Mundas. They are Mahali Mundako or Patar and Kampat Mundako. These two are endogamous in nature, and the Mahali Mundako is inferior to the Kampat Mundako socially. The Sauras of Ganjam in Orissa are divided into 2 moieties, namely aristocrats and rats. Sarora aristocrats have their secular head gamangs assisted by Dol Behara as well as Mandal and the religious head Baya. They are endogamous groups. The Gonds of Madhya Pradesh have a type of dual organization among its member tribes that is hill marias. Each group is composed of a number of clans. There are 90 clans in one moiety, whereas in the other there are 69 clans. The Ants of Andhra Pradesh, moieties of South India, are divided into two divisions, namely Vartati pure and Khaltati illegitimate. The Vartati division considered more superior than the Khaltati. They do not intermarry within themselves. They follow exogamous marriage practice within themselves. The Todas of Nilgiri in Tamil Nadu give a classic example of moiety. They have two primary divisions of Thartazole and Theveloil. These divisions are endogamous in nature and each is again subdivided into a number of exogamous clans. The Thartazole moiety shares as many as 10 clans, namely Inikiti, Karsh, Kerher, Karor, Meder, Melgarsh, Nedhi, Norsh, Pirgotl and Thadar among the existing clans. The Theveloil division has only 6 clans, namely Amgar, Koete, Konigor, Martikarer, Pet and Pirgot too. Let us now discuss about phratry. A tribe or subtribe is divided into number of clans that are further grouped into 3 or more groups or cluster of clans in order to maintain their individuality on a higher order to form a phratry. In other words, a few clans unite to form a group called phratry. The phratry is a group of 2 or more clans united for certain common objective. Phratry is a convenient term for a kin linkage. When a group of clans merge together for some reasons or the other, the emergent grouping is called phratry. Phratry is more common in tribal India among the northeastern Himalayan tribes and a few tribes of middle India. In the northwestern and central Himalayas and in middle India, social class and territorial grouping of the tribe as its subdivision are common. The Kukis and Hamars have two sections of phratry, namely Ranghols and Betas. The Rabhas of Assam have Bars as their clans. 2 or more Bars might unite to form a phratry hur. Among the Ao Nagas, the Chungli moiety has a number of phratries, namely Pagnin, Lunkan, Chami, etc. The western Rengma Nagas are divided into 6 exogamous groups, each containing a number of clans. In middle India, the Rajgons have 4 phratries such as Yerven Saga, Sarven, Saga Siven Saga and Nalven Saga. These phratries are exogamous groups. Let us discuss local group of a village community. The local group is a distinct social system or unit. It comprises of number of families who are living in a common settlement, tola or village. They perform certain ceremonies, functions for their common welfare. Moreover, this local group proves to be a bigger unit than the family itself. They are helping hands for one another. In the tribal communities, the tribal village serves as an economic, social, and religious unit. On all the occasions, the whole settlement is formed of one or more than one clan or lineage. However, the whole settlement is bound by a common link of co-villagers. Among the tribals, the thought of village exogamy is the outcome of a brotherhood feeling. Overall atmosphere of the village community is democratic in nature and all the members practice equality in working. The local group is a permanent unit for those who live in settled villages. While it is a temporary unit for the wanderers like the Birhors, they play a vital role in the social and economic life. On the other hand, there is a high degree of social and economic cooperation within the group. The cooperation of the people is more mutual. The villagers in their economic life help each other, such as preparing a cultivable field and construction of house. These activities, Malays of Bihar or the Ao Nagas of Nagaland show much cooperation and unity. There is definite system of rights and obligation followed among the tribes in the villages or settlement level, especially in religious ceremonies. To conclude, the tribal social system gives an idea of the people living in an organized society. They have a definite geographical area, a separate language or dialect and distinct culture, and have at least a common feeling of determination against strangers. The social organization and structure of the tribe projects the whole picture of the tribes in India. Tribe is a group of people of the same race and the same customs, language, religion, and living in a particular area and often led by a chief. The sub-tribe is divided into a few groups depending on the economy, ecology, and isolation. These divisions are due to geographical isolation. Moieties are known as half-tribes, and if a tribe is socially separated into only two groups based on the social activities, and that each group is called moiety. This organization is also called dual organization. The moieties are endogamous in nature, and each tribe is again subdivided into a number of exogamous clans. A tribe or sub-tribe is divided into number of clans that are further grouped into 3 or more groups or cluster of clans in order to maintain their individuality on a higher order to form a phratry. It is more common in tribal India among the northeastern Himalayan tribes and a few tribes of middle India. The local group is a distinct system. It comprises of number of families who are living in a common settlement, tola or village. It is a permanent unit for those who live in settled villages. They play a vital role in social and economic life. So learners, I hope you have understood the concepts of social organization, social structure, the concept of social life among tribals, the definition and characteristics of tribe, the concepts of sub-tribe, moiety, phratry, and local group of village community. In the next session, I will be describing some more concepts of tribal society. Thank you.